Hi, I'm Susan Rutledge, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to edit seamless pattern swatches in Adobe Illustrator. And I'm not talking about editing them as you make them. I have a separate tutorial that will teach you how to make this exact seamless pattern swatch you see here on the top left side of my artboard. Now, I'm talking about editing the swatches after they've been applied to an object. What you'll learn in this video is how to scale the swatches, how to rotate the swatches, and even how to move the swatches around on your object. This is going to give you a lot of flexibility to use swatches that might have a pattern too large for the object you're using. You're going to be able to use a lot more swatches, and I think you're going to find this a very helpful video. The first thing we'll do is get the swatches panel. I'll come up to Window and come down and click on swatches, and that's going to open up the panel, and I'm going to grab the tab and dock it on the right side of my workspace. I'm going to select this first t-shirt and apply the floral swatch to it, and select the second one and apply the stripes to it, and select the third one and apply the stars to it. Now let's get started. In the first example, we're going to scale this floral t-shirt, and I'm going to use the scale tool, which is located on the left toolbar, and it looks like this. If you don't find that tool, you probably have the basic setting on your left toolbar, and to get that tool, you can do one of two different things. You can either come down to this little ellipsis, click here, and go up to the top right icon and check advanced instead of basic. Or if you don't want to do that, click and hold on the rotate tool and you'll have a pop-out menu, and in that pop-out menu yours is going to show the scale tool, and you can get it that way as well. I'll go ahead and click up here on the selection tool, keyboard shortcut V, and I've got to first select my t-shirt. I'm going to come over to the scale tool and I'm going to double click it, and that opens the scale dialog box. I want this swatch to be scaled uniformly, so I'll click on uniform and I'm going to type in 50% here. Now I have several options. Scale corners we don't want, scale strokes and effects we don't want, transform objects. If I check this, the whole t-shirt is going to become 50% of the size it is now. I definitely don't want that. I want transform patterns. This is how you scale those pattern swatches once they've been applied to an object. So I'm going to say OK. I'm going to get the selection tool, keyboard shortcut V, and click on the artboard to deselect that, and you can see the design of the swatch is now 50% the size of the original swatch. And I could type in any different value and it would change accordingly. Now let's select the t-shirt again, and I'm going to scale it using the scale tool, but this time I'll access it with the keyboard shortcut S. You can see on the toolbar that it is highlighted, so it's been selected. I'm going to start dragging towards the center of the t-shirt, and as I do, you're going to see the whole t-shirt begins to get smaller. But after I start dragging, if I hold down the tilde key, and it's the key that is next to the one on your keyboard probably, it's a little wavy line. When I press that down, the t-shirt goes back to the normal size, but the swatch design continues to be scaled. Now I have another problem which I need to address. If you look at the little text box next to my cursor, you'll see that I don't have a uniform scale. It's scaled at a different percentage on the width and the height. To change that, I still have the tilde key down. I haven't let up on my mouse. I'm going to hold the shift key down now, and as I drag, the scale is constrained to where it's going to be a uniform scale, and I can make it as small as I want, and I can also increase the size. And when I have it the size that I want, I release the mouse first, and then I'll take my fingers off of the keys I was using. Now I'll get the selection tool, keyboard shortcut V, and that's how you scale a pattern swatch. You use the scale tool either with the scale tool dialog box, or you use the scale keyboard shortcut S along with the tilde key and the shift key. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to rotate our design. I like the vertical line on the main part of the t-shirt, but I want the vertical lines to line up differently on my sleeves. So I'll select one at a time. I'm going to get the rotate tool, keyboard shortcut R, and I'll begin to rotate. And you see my sleeve is rotating. I don't want that, but once I start the rotation, not before, not at the same time, after the rotation starts, I hold down the tilde key and instantly that sleeve goes back where it was, yet I can still continue to rotate my swatch until I have it where I want. I release the mouse first and then my hand off the tilde key. Now let's do this again on the other sleeve. I'm going to get the selection tool, keyboard shortcut V, select the sleeve, get the rotate tool, keyboard shortcut R. I'll begin to rotate, then I'll press down the tilde key and I continue to rotate till I have my swatch lined up where I want. I release the mouse and then the tilde key. And I'll get the selection tool, keyboard shortcut V. This is how easy it is to rotate any swatch in Adobe Illustrator. Next, I'm going to show you how you can move your design around. I'm going to get the direct selection tool, keyboard shortcut A, and I'll select the center part of my t-shirt and I'm just going to begin to move it. And the whole body of the t-shirt begins to move until I hold the tilde key down. And then it goes back where it was and I'm just moving my mouse around until I have the design exactly where I want it. Then I release my mouse and then take my hand off the tilde key. This is also a good pattern to show you the value of being able to resize your swatches. Let's get the scale tool, keyboard shortcut S, and I'm going to begin to drag down and then I'll hold the tilde key and I'm going to press my hand on the shift key as well so that my stars are all scaling uniformly. And then I'll get the selection tool, keyboard shortcut V, and that's probably a better size for this t-shirt. Being able to scale or rotate or move pattern swatches has been a game changer for me. I've been able to use swatches I would have otherwise just passed by because they were the wrong size or the wrong direction. And I hope that you find these tips as helpful in your work as I found them in mine. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'm going to invite you to do that right now while you're thinking about it, because I have a lot more tips to show you and I don't want you to miss a single one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye now.